Underway from our anchorage at Strongholmen, kind of tucked in here amongst a lot of little small islands and little inlets. It's been a great stay overnight. We haven't had a lot of chance to anchor. Been a lot of marinas, which have been good, but it also is nice to anchor out. And we've had a lot of rain during the day yesterday. Every time we felt like we could go out and do something, it started to rain again, and then it would stop, and then it would rain again. But very calm morning, a little bit of sunshine coming out. Nearly glassy water overnight. It was really, really beautiful. So this is the Sognefjorden, and just the very beginning of it. We're going to go over here to the right.
Hi, this is Tom from LifeFourPointZero, and welcome to the Sognefjorden, the granddaddy of Norway's famous fjords. At over 200 kilometers in length, it is Norway's longest fjord, cutting deep into the interior, with smaller branch fjords leading off to the north and south. Like many Norwegian fjords, Sognefjorden is a popular destination for cruise ships, but during our visit, it felt like we had all 200 kilometers to ourselves to explore. Everything here is on an outsized scale. The water is up to 1,200 meters deep. That's the height of 4 Eiffel Towers on top of each other. From the water surface, steep cliffs rise rapidly to prominent peaks, often enshrouded in the clouds, as they top out at 1,500 meters. At just 2 meters high, we are a mere sideshow to these natural wonders, leaving me speechless, breathless, humble. We hear a lot of reports about how dry and arid the planet has become.
Sand, it's everywhere. Get used to it.
But here, the slogan should be, water, it's everywhere. The marriage of consistent rains and tall mountains produces offspring, just like the variability of humans, in the form of waterfalls in all shapes and sizes. A spontaneous detour down the Arnafjorden provided a welcome teaser of what we were in store for this week. Immediately around the corner was the unassuming harbor of Vik, where it was just the local boats, all huddled together, waiting out the rain, and our dear sweet Sea Rose, the only visiting boat in the harbor. This was either going to be a bust of a town or a hidden gem. Did I mention it rains a lot here? With umbrellas and foul-weather gear at the ready, we sought out the rare but treasured Vik Stave Church, unique to Norway, with only 28 remaining structures in existence. Here in Vik, the Hooperstad Church is thought to be one of the oldest. Stave churches are distinctively dark on both the outside and inside, owing to the use of pine tar and a process of burning the outside of the posts as a means to protect the wood from decay. Not to be outdone, and built just 40 years later, the nearby Hove Church is one of the oldest stone churches in Norway. So there you go. The gems of Vik have been exposed. From Vik, the Sognefjorden takes a 90-degree turn to port, then another 90-degree turn to starboard. A challenge if we were behind the wheel of a race car, but no problem at 5 knots of boat speed. You have to make choices in this mammoth fjord. There is simply too much to see at one time. We cut to starboard again to venture down a narrow branch fjord to the tiny settlement of Bakke. Here, the risk of neck injury is high, taking in all the upper elevation beauty.
I was just noticing all these areas up in here where there's waterfalls coming out, and obviously there are waterfalls that have been there for a while because they all have cuts. Those waterfalls have all cut those ridge lines down so that there is a never-ending waterfall coming down through there. Really remarkable, the geology around this area.
We were soon joined by an ultra-modern 100% electric catamaran, a refreshingly quiet, clean new trend in the tour industry here, followed by a traditional research ship returning from probing the depths of the Sognefjorden. At Bakke, a single dock space was made available for visiting boats, and after a long day of motoring, we wasted no time getting some exercise in this little hamlet of waterside charm. If Sognefjorden is the granddaddy of Norwegian fjords, then the town of Flam is a favored grandchild of the Sognefjorden. As we made our way around the corner, the best seat in the house remained the foredeck, as we stared in silent awe. I almost prefer these cloudy days because they provide dimension to the tall peaks surrounding us, often with a band of clouds choosing to cling, in my mind rebelliously, to a separate mid-level perch. If you have ever looked at a cruise ship itinerary for this region, undoubtedly you'll find frequent calls at the port of Flåm. We were told to expect at least one cruise ship at the dock, and up to 2 more anchored off, a major shift from our single-room inn back at Bakke. Now, I don't want to appear critical of the cruise industry and its passengers. Someday, I'm sure, Karen and I will join their ranks. But on this day, on our own boat, it was refreshing to approach a dock devoid of a huge ship holding thousands of passengers. Indeed, a dock devoid of most pleasure boats as well. It felt like the morning after New Year's Eve, with a few birds chirping and not much else. The waterfront here is small and unassuming, yet there is much to enjoy in Flam. A short hike brings you up close and personal with the photo-worthy Brekkefossen Waterfall. A fertile green valley carries away inland where, if you get tired of hiking, you can take the Flamsbana Train. It climbs nearly 1 kilometer in elevation over a distance of 20 kilometers, using 20 tunnels and 1 bridge, all constructed by hand back in 1924. It makes one stop right before the summit, at the Kjosfossen Waterfall, which is more like a raging torrent of a river, which somehow gets safely funneled below the railway tracks to continue plunging down to the valley floor below. All the while, mystical song and dance entertain the rail traveler. Our adventurous visit with our friends Ted and Maria was coming to an end. It was time for Karen and I to push on north.
Beautiful day today. I think this is going to be one of the sunniest days we've had in the last probably 10 days. Beautiful mountain peaks. Tops touched by clouds. It's just striking, super striking here, and I love the contrast, the green and the blue and the white clouds. You can see why so many boats come in here. We had a nice visit in Flåm. We did the train, did a hike up to a waterfall, had a nice dinner at the Wrapup last night.
Under a canopy of cobalt blue skies, we guided Zeros out through this three-dimensional course on Norwegian geology, the majestic, the magical Sognefjorden. Join us next time as we sail back out to the coast and discover beautiful Bullandet, an archipelago of some 300 islands, some close to the sea, others with summits begging to be conquered. In turn, we learn how trusting the Norwegian people are as we visit the first of many completely self-service, unattended grocery stores. Once again, this is Tom from LifeFourPointZero. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment. We always appreciate hearing from you. Please consider giving us a thumbs up as it helps others find this kind of content. And if you are not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to Life 4.0. Fair winds!